Colin, can you squeeze my hand, please? No.
Colin, blink once for yes and twice for no. Can you hear me?
Morning. What were you up to last night?
About a minute.
This one's got another dose of the clap. Go down to the clinic and find his old notes for me, will you?
So she pulled the plug, literally. All the fail-safe mechanisms went off in Crippenwood and it resembled NORAD at the outbreak of World War III.
Dr. Roger, I knew it was just a matter of time before you'd require our services.
Have I said, sister, how you seem to look younger every time I see you?
You shouldn't let it get to you.
Andrew, I just didn't want to give that bitch the satisfaction.
Calm down. Doctor!
Hey, Andrew, can I
Doctor! I want to know when I'm having the scan.
As I explained yesterday, Dr. Hudson will have to arrange it with the radiologist.
Do you actually do anything for the sackful you earn?
I do not need this crap!
I pay your wages. How dare you talk to me like that? Don't you talk to me like that.
Shut it, Mr. Gilman. It isn't because you're just a wanker.
Take a break, Liz. Come on. You're not going to talk to me like that.
Just let it slide, mate. At this point in the relationship, any hint of mistrust is a mandatory chucking offence.
Yeah, but like you and Patrick said, why else would she go to the clap clinic?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you fill one of those out, great.
I think you ought to tell me, don't you?
What are you on about? Before you two go any further, I think Patrick's got something to say. Can't hear you, Patrick.
Well, it's about you getting mixed up about Kirsty going to the GU.
Yeah.
It was James.
Oi!
Corwinder's mind is fully active. However, her body is almost totally paralysed.
Will she need the life support machine for the rest of her life?
Although she's dependent at the moment, she's taking more and more breaths by herself. We may be able to wean her off the ventilator over the next few days.
I'd like to speak with a consultant, please.
Certainly.
I want to ask her...
You want to ask if she should live like that?
I'm not asking this for myself. She will always be my Corwinder. I'm asking for her.
Your wife may regain some use of her body. We don't know. Your wife may come off the ventilator. We don't know.
Will you ask this for me? Will you explain to her everything?
Yes. Yes, I will.
And if she doesn't want to go on?
A reasonably healthy lady turned into a cabbage on the operating table. I only hope I can convince my bosses that no one was to blame.
Well, the facts speak for themselves.
Well, unfortunately, some people might consider Mr. Smedley's recent cases a catalogue of blunders. You and I both know that any procedure can have complications. Frankly, Julie, this is out of my hands.
Paul, don't kid me, you can't pull strings.
I don't want to sound like I'm harping on about it, but getting your suspension overturned has considerably weakened my position. Some might say it reflects on Mr. Smedley.
Meaning?
It's none of my business, of course. I'm simply stating that it doesn't help Mr. Smedley to be involved in a relationship with a nurse who has the reputation of being...
a troublemaker. Thank you, Paul.
Believe me, Julie, if there was anything I could do.
It's possible your body will remain completely paralyzed for life. Do you understand? We're optimistic that in a day or two, you won't need the ventilator. But if we switched it off now, you would die. Do you understand? What we'd all like to know is what you think now. Would you want us to turn off the machine? We carry on with the treatment. Thank you, Mrs. Carr. Would you like to be with your husband now?
Thank you, Doctor. It's what I wanted you to say. I miss you so much.
She's lucky she got someone who cares for her that much.
He's lucky too. Adrian, I don't want to see you anymore. I think we should proceed with ultrasound-guided biopsy.
Yes, we need to take a tissue sample from the mass in your liver using an ultrasound scan as a guide. I'll talk to one of the radiologists about performing this procedure this afternoon.
And that's your lot on here, Dr. Hudson.
Thanks, everyone.
Dr. Hudson, I was wondering if it would be possible for me to finish earlier this afternoon.
As long as there's cover.
I'm doing Dr. Turner's outpatients.
Renal unit and then ITU.
Sorry, Liz.
No, Liz really does look dead beat.
She's been putting this on ever since she's worked here. Debbie should be fine.
You said this afternoon.
It was Dr. Hudson who said she'd try and arrange it for this afternoon.
You people, you say 5 minutes and you mean 5 hours. You're on a different planet. This afternoon means next week, I suppose.
Just shut up and listen. For God's sakes, just shut up!
It's the syringe driver. It's the syringe driver, Liz. All right? Come on, let's go and have a cup of tea. I'll phone ultrasound and I'll find out the time of your scan. Right, Mr. Gaydon?
I think we should stop seeing one another. Well, I mean, you know, it's not really working out, is it? You're not too upset, are you?
No.
Isn't it about time you popped the question, Mr. D? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Docherty. She hasn't turned you down, has she?
James, it's none of our business.
No. It's just that You've just got to bite the bullet and ask her, Mr. Docherty. There's no other way. Isn't that right, Scissors?
Well, don't ask me. I can only tell you how to screw up every relationship you ever have with a woman.
Yeah. You all right? I'll be done in a couple of hours. I'm fine. Thank you, Debbie.
Look, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but there's a whole load of bloods to do. They should have told you on this morning shift, but, you know. Okay? Okay.
What do you see, Mr. D?
The future.
Short. It's all in the wrist action, mate. Hi.
Hi.
Do you want a drink?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isabel, before you go,
Yes, what is it?
do you think we should... I mean, should I,
Oh, yes, Ernest, yes, I will marry you, Ernest, but please hurry up and ask me because you're driving me round the bend.
This is